Hey everyone!
Hello! Well, listen up everybody. Listen up. We have now become an official, gigantic, real YouTube channel. We've all grown up like Peter Pan. It's, what we're recording right now is about a week and a half after what you're about to see following this because we lost footage. How that happened, we know not. But, so we're recording this introduction because our last introduction, so it just vanished on us. So if this looks a little different, then, right?
Yeah, we had stopped the recording because of our kitty cats were helping us. So, hello, welcome to our cruise Q&A.
Yes, this is a cruise Q&A, which we've already answered the questions, but you're about to see them. But we do have...
Yeah, so I guess maybe framing today's conversation, you all asked us lots of cruise questions. We took a lot of the questions that you had either on our community tab here on YouTube or on Facebook or also in our videos here on YouTube and then some of our patron questions. Yep. So we pulled them together to answer them here for you.
Answer them here. So hopefully, well, we did. If you asked a question, we have attempted to answer it to the best of our abilities.
Yes, so hopefully you enjoyed this video. Our first question that we lost in translation.
Lost, and we are sorry. By the way, lost in translation by Bill Murray's in it. It's not, why am I saying Scarlett Johansson? Because it's not. It's she's in it. Scarlett Johansson's in it, but it's Sofia Coppola wrote and directed it.
Cruise
phenomenal
movie.
Okay,
focus.
Lost in translation.
Cruise question.
Cruise question number one from one of our patrons, and it is Allie, patron Allie. She's awesome. And what was her question? Her
question was, how are the pools on DCL?
I think, well, on our last two cruises, they've been, for the most part, nearly empty.
Yeah, correct. So we should probably say that there are both family pool areas and then there are adults-only areas on Disney cruise ships. So no matter what kind of cruise ship you're cruising on through DCL, there's different kinds of pool options. I will admit that both Brandon and I are not usually pool people, even though we say we're going to chillax.
We do chillax.
We just don't
not in the pool. We are not, which you would think one of us might be a pool person. Neither of us are pool people. It's not that we dislike pools or anything like that. They can be a lot of fun sometimes, but believe it or not, in all the cruises we've been on, right?
We don't really go in the pools.
We've never been in the pools.
No, we usually sit at the pools.
We sit by the pools.
Yeah, we chill.
We're all around them. But looking at it from an outside non-pool person, they always look like a pretty, not that many people, correct?
I will say, so the pools on the family side tend to be a bit busier. So those would definitely be more popular. Yeah. But if we're looking at the adult area pools on the Disney cruise ship, they are actually usually fairly quiet. Yeah. I will say comparing the Magic, which we were just on, versus the Dream, which is kind of our home ship that we cruise on a lot more, the setups are a little different. So I feel like on the Dream and the Fantasy, those are going to be a lot bigger in terms of the pool areas. Because they have they have jacuzzis that kind of look over the water.
Look over the water in the pools.
On the Dream, but versus the Magic, they're kind of connected to the pool. So the pools on the classic ships in the adult areas are a little bit smaller. So they could, in theory, get busier faster just because they're a smaller area.
Yeah, but overall, from what we've seen, and I think I'm trying my best to think back on our most recent cruises, which as of this recording was during when they reopened with the pandemic and everything. But even prior to all that, I don't think I've ever seen them that jammed or anything like that.
Not really.
There are, of course, less of crowds right now, but I've never seen them where you'd, if we were pool people, where I'd be like, oh, I don't want to go in there, there's too many people. I've never seen it like that.
Right, and sometimes I think people worry that they're not going to be able to get like lounger chairs, and I've really never seen, I don't think we've ever seen an issue where they have been super booked capacity. Now, we have been like on the Dream, there's more of a quiet pool area, kind of in the top deck that's by like Satellite Falls.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That does get very popular.
I forgot about that.
That's a pretty popular area.
I forgot there was a little pool thing up there.
Yeah, that gets a little bit more popular. The loungers tend to be a little bit fuller.
Yeah, that's the one where if the pool's down here, the other one's up here. Yeah, okay, by the satellite.
Yeah, yep.
Spheres and everything. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
I forgot all about it. I wasn't even thinking about that. Yeah.
Yeah, so I would say the adult pool areas are lovely.
Yep.
There's lots of places to relax.
Yep.
They don't tend to be super busy. No. And so if you like going in the jacuzzis or you like going in the pool itself, there's also a little kind of swim up pool bar area on the Dream in their adult pool, which
for
is
your
delicious,
delicious adult beverages. So, but no,
that's pretty much it.
So that's for the pools. Again, please leave a comment if you agree with us or if you've seen them when they're jammed. But we've again not been in them, but we have sat by them quite often, walked by them consistently, constantly, and Sarah's never said to me like, "Oh gosh, look how crowded that is." It's never come up.
It's usually pretty chill. Yeah. So if you've been on a Disney cruise and you are a pool fan, share your experience also with Allie to let her know what you think about the pools.
So with that,
we will leave you. We'll do like a nice little transition to the main part of this video. We hope you enjoyed the questions and the answers. And of course, if you have other questions about Disney Cruise, let us know. And so with that, we are going to cut to a week and a half ago. What is the next question? So our next question comes from YouTube. So these are going to be our YouTube questions. The first one comes from Chrissy. Chrissy says, I heard that there was an allergy-friendly menu pre-COVID, and I was wondering if you tried it and if you liked it. And also wondering if you know if it's coming back. There was. There sure was. Okay. So in 2019, the Disney Dream specifically, none of the other ships, introduced an allergy menu very similar to what we see at Disney World, where it covers gluten, the top 8 common allergens, and which of course gluten is one of those. And so it was great because you could just get that menu and you could just say, I can eat all of these things. Every single item on there, or at least most of them, were all completely top 8 free. So gluten-free, dairy-free, all that kind of stuff. And it was awesome. Yeah. The desserts were great. I got pot stickers. It was fantastic. So where did it go then? It went the way of the dodo bird. Yeah, so it was like a test that I guess they didn't bring back. It was a test that they were doing, and it was going really well. We had heard that if it kept going really well, that they were going to expand it to some of the other ships. But of course, the closure happened, and when we were on our cruise in August that we vlogged, we asked about it, and they said they were not going to launch them right now because they were just trying to get the ship back up and running. Yeah. So no allergy menus right now. I'm really hoping that they do bring them back. Yeah, that would be awesome for everyone. Yes, yeah, they were so good, and we had, I feel like a ton more options, especially with desserts, which I find kind of challenging on the Disney cruise ship. You had this, remember this like cookie brownie thing that you really liked? It was like part cookie, part brownie. It was delicious, yeah, because on the cruises, poor Sarah typically has to get creme brulee. That's the worst. Creme brulee, it's just never ending creme brulee, and she's not, you liked one creme brulee. Not on a Disney cruise ship. No. Oh yeah, that was at Topolino. Sorry, another video. Anyway, but yeah, so on the Disney Cruise Line, Sarah is not forced ever, but a lot of times creme brulee. But yeah, this menu was awesome. As of now, it's not back as of this recording, but we hope it comes back. Yeah, it was just expand it. Yeah, and the desserts were phenomenal. The appetizers were phenomenal. We vlogged those in our January 2020 cruise on the Dream. You can see, like, we went to Enchanted Garden and we got like 3 different gluten-free, dairy-free, peanut tree nut-free desserts, and they were so good. So we'll link to that. It was a great option. I really love those. I really hope that Disney Cruise Line does consider bringing it back, at least even if just on the Dream, because it made going there so much easier because we had a menu we knew right away. Everything was safe. We didn't have to try to ask questions and negotiate. It's easier for the chefs and the cast members too. It benefits everyone. It literally benefits everyone. So it's so much easier. And again, things like the desserts, I felt like we just got a lot more options. So as of right now, it's not on the ships. Keeping our fingers crossed that it does come back in the future. Yes. So our next question comes from Denise. Denise, if that is not how we pronounce your name, please let us know so that we can pronounce it correctly next time. This is a fun one, and Brandon's probably going to be like, hold on. What? Cactus. Everyone? Cactus, are you going to help us with this question? This is Captain Cactus. Oh. If this goes on too long, we won't leave it in the video. Hey, have a seat. There we go. So this is one of our cats. If you've not seen our kitties in videos before, it's our cat Cactus, who's a very loving cat. So, all right, moving on. All right. So Denise asks, did you see sleepwalking Goofy wandering about the decks and stateroom corridors late at night? Yeah, what is this? The answer is no. No, is this a thing? Yes.
I didn't know this. That is amazing.
And so it's little jams.
Like after midnight or something?
Like in the evening time.
In the evening time. That's so cool.
And he literally sleepwalks. He has like a little, hat and everything.
Like little sleeping hats and everything. That's so cool.
Yep.
Oh, I want to see that.
We've never seen this.
Didn't know about that. On the next cruise, I can almost guarantee we'll be on the lookout for it though.
Yeah, we have cruised many times now, and we still have never seen sleepwalking Goofy.
Yeah, and we have been out late, but
I know.
I'm assuming it's evening, like 10 to midnight or something, but if it's like 2 or 3 a.m., no, we haven't been out.
Yeah, and you can also see, I think in the atrium, I've seen a lot of videos. There are videos on YouTube for it, so you can definitely see it. It's very fun.
When we're done filming this, I'm going to check some of those videos out. So
super fun.
Good question. Yeah, I didn't know about that.
And it's a great question, and definitely one thing to know about when you're on a Disney cruise ship. Characters are out and about all the time.
Yes, yeah.
Unannounced, so keep your eyes open, whether it's Sleepwalking Goofy or any other character.
On our last cruise, I randomly saw Captain Marvel and Spider-Man.
That's right.
So they weren't scheduled. They weren't on any agendas there. They just, poof, they appeared. So it was very cool.
Yeah, always keep an eye out for characters. Yep. One day we're going to see Sleepwalking Goofy. All right. So our next question comes from Jackie. Okay. Jackie says, do you know if Vanellope Sweets and Treats on the Disney Dream has gluten-free options? So in all reality, we have never actually ordered anything from Vanellope's.
It looks like an adorable store. Or ice cream place.
The only reason we really haven't is because there's not really a lot of options for gluten-free guests. Now they do have some ice creams there. They do have like some macarons there. They may have some other kinds of treats, but it is pretty limited. I always recommend too, because the options will change from cruise to cruise, pop in, especially on your first day of the cruise, see what they have, ask some questions. A big tip I would have is...
That's a good tip,
ask for things either from another area in Vanellope, so maybe in the back, so to avoid cross-contamination. Or if it's ice cream, ask them to get a brand new container of ice cream and a brand new scoop. So you avoid
you want to avoid that at all costs, and not just at a place like this. We didn't vlog. This was 2 years ago now, but at a Tapanito the one day with utensils. So
nobody.
But by all means, if you go there, Sarah's right. Hey, can I just get some utensils from the back or something? You know, just you want to avoid all that stuff.
Yeah, make sure that they scoop that fresh for you, so again, no cross-contamination, because some flavors will contain gluten. If you're dairy-free, there is some sorbet and dairy-free options there. So you just always want to double check. But we have never gotten anything from Vanellope's. Maybe next time we're on the Dream, we will give it a try.
We've actually mentioned it to ourselves over and over and over. And then when we walk by, we're just never hungry.
Yeah, and also you have to pay for Vanellope. So it is an upcharge. It's kind of like Coke Cafe. You're paying an additional price. So I kind of am not as excited if there's very limited options to have to pay for it.
That's fair. Yeah.
Maybe next time we will try and see if there are some more options or some things we want to try. It's a great question. So our next question comes from Susan. Susan says, what would you say was the average cost for an alcoholic drink?
Oh.
It's a good question.
Well, that's a good question. First of all, cheaper than the theme parks.
A lot cheaper.
A lot cheaper. And I think overall, with exceptions, there's always exceptions to everything we say, overall better quality and cheaper. What is the average cost?
I said 10 to 15 seemed like
I'm going to say 8 to 13. So, okay, between there.
Yeah.
Some of them are far cheaper than you'd think. And there's probably a few you're like, oh, that costs a lot. But overall, very affordable. I'd say, let's go with $12 to $15.
It depends on what you're getting. Yeah. So, like the gin and tonics I was getting on our most recent cruise were about $6 to $8.
Yeah, really.
Which is very affordable. Yeah. The most expensive one was $14. I did not get it this time. I've had that gin before. But that's it. And
very affordable.
Most cocktails, I think I paid, the champagne's a little bit more expensive. Oh, buddy.
We are sorry, everyone. Cactus is clearly stretching. There he goes.
He's happy.
He's
body.
So, but no, the drinks, if you, the drinks are very affordable, which is why we do probably at least every night go get a little nightcap. Is that what they call them?
Yeah,
a little nightcap. They're affordable. They're not $20 drinks. I'm sure they are. You can probably get $20 drinks on board. We never have, though.
Yeah, our favorite Skyline Lounge on the Dream. Our drinks are both like $14.
Yeah,
so
and worth it. They're more than fair with the alcohol content, but they also don't overpower the other stuff inside the drinks.
My pro tip too, if you're a wine drinker, some location on the Disney cruise ship, it's usually at 1 or 2 lounges, will have a sommelier bin where you pay $10 for a glass of wine, and it's whatever they have open. So it could be a really nice expensive wine, or it could be just an average wine.
I forgot about that.
But it's worth trying, because sometimes you get really good wines out of that. I know last time I asked about it on the Magic, I ended up not doing it because I didn't want red wine that night, and that was the sommelier bin option was red. So that is another kind of cost savings thing that you can do.
Very cool.
If you do not have to worry about gluten, there are many options for like a beer stein. You pay a certain amount and you can repeat use that over and over.
I didn't know that. That's actually awesome. Okay, that's actually really cool. Like a refillable popcorn thing or something for beer. Okay, that's really cool.
Yeah, so it's a cost savings if you're a beer person.
Didn't know that.
Yep, so there's definitely, I think, affordable options. It just depends. If you order whiskey like Brandon, you're probably going to spend a little bit more.
Yeah, listen, everybody, listen, that's ridiculous. The prices were not too high, but when it's just straight whiskey comparatively to these delicious gin and tonics Sarah was having, something felt a little off. That is not a complaint. Alcohol on the Disney Cruise Line is affordable.
Yeah, except for if you go to Remy and you buy the one rare bottle of wine that was like $25,000.
Which someone did buy. They had 2 of them. Guess how many they have now? They have 1.
Kind of crazy.
Because someone bought one of them.
Yeah, but more or less, pretty reasonable prices considering Disney and a cruise ship.
Yeah.
So our next question comes from Christopher. Christopher says, I noticed that there's not a lot of people in your cruise videos. Is this really what cruising is like? Do you know the best time of year to go? Or are you just getting kind of lucky with low crowds? So of the 3 vlogs we've had, I think one of them reflects normal time.
That was our first one.
That was our first one.
That we vlogged. We were cruising before that. But the last 2 cruises you've seen of our vlogs, the Disney Magic we were just on, and before that was Disney Dream again. As we filmed that, we're still filming this in case you watch this a year or 2 years from now, during COVID, when restrictions are on. And that is, as of now, what you've seen in our videos is not normal.
No, the Magic especially, that was very low crowds.
Extremely low. So no, to answer that part of Christopher's question, to answer that part of your question, Christopher, those, no.
Yeah, those 2 are definitely not normal. No. Now, the January one, I would say January is a very low time of year. Both January and September are low travel months, and that's partially just because of the weather. So, of course, January is wintry. The waters can be a little rougher. You've gotten seasick twice in January. And then September is hurricane season in the Caribbean. So you're going to see lower prices and lower capacities on those dates. We've also cruised in May and October. And I think May is a really nice time for kind of middle of the road crowds. October is Halloween on the high seas on DCL and can be a little bit busier. But I would say by and large, even on our very full cruises, because we've cruised on pretty full
ships,
there are definitely places where you can find quiet spots. I feel like the adult areas are definitely always very quiet.
No, Sarah's right. Yeah, if you go to adult areas, even on a sold out ship or something, it doesn't feel that crowded. The most crowds you usually hit, in our experience, I think, certain times in the atrium area. That's the thing. This past cruise, the reason we pointed it out so much is because there was no one at times. We're talking 6 p.m. and there's no one there. It was sad and eerie, but cool at the same time. Usually the atrium area, no matter what, on a normal time of when this kind of stuff isn't going on, there's always people down there usually, and sometimes a ton of people. Like Sarah said, the Halloween on the high seas, they have a cool pumpkin tree down there, and it's jammed. It is jammed down there. The other big crowds, and I think my opinion, and I think Sarah will agree, the upper deck in the not the adult section, because the adult section, they're pretty good with kids pretty much just walk through there. They allow kids to walk through, but they can't stay and hang out. But in the all-person section, the main section,
where the family pool is.
Yeah, where the family pool is. The pool, like we said previously, the pool itself isn't always that crowded. But the deck up there is pretty full. Plenty of seating, though. Yeah,
and at night they cover the pool, and then they do shows and stuff there, and then they often have fireworks, and that can just get pretty busy. The sail away party is usually pretty crazy.
That's it. Yeah, the sail away party, which we have never done because we prefer to.
I think we tried it once.
We tried it once.
And we know afraid of it.
Yeah, we when we sail away, we prefer to have our own little party on our little veranda or balcony and just watch things sail away. Like he just readjusted everyone. He wanted a better view of you guys.
Yes, right.
All right. What was the next part? He had another part of his question, I think.
Yeah, he just said, do you know what the best time of year to go
is? Oh, you
is?
answered that already.
Yeah,
okay.
And I would say best time, we loved May. Yeah. May is kind of just a great time.
Yeah, May is great. And you can always, in May, even if it's not a Star Wars day at Sea Cruise, you can celebrate Star Wars because Star Wars has premiered in May.
It's true. And I do like, because May is like, the temperature's not so hot. No. Like we cruise in August.
Especially when you get to Castaway Key, you felt like you were...
I was like, are we on the sun right now?
Yeah, are we on... Yeah, you were... Speaking of the sun, there's a great film called Sunshine by Danny Boyle. Highly recommend it. Oh, no. But anyway, go ahead.
But yeah, May is a great time of year. October is quite nice too.
Yes.
So I would definitely recommend those times. Not so much August.
Not so much August.
Okay, so our very last Facebook question, or sorry, YouTube question, and then we'll be moving on to Facebook questions. Lauren says, do you know what the magic was sailing at on the recent sailing that we did? Seemed like there was a lot less people.
We actually do. There is no definitive answer we have to give you. Like, we didn't see the printed out numbers, but we did talk to enough cast members and other people in the know that, or we believe them in the know, and 800 to 850 people were on board. Guests. That's not counting cast members and crew members, but guests like us. Between 8 and 850 is what we're pretty confident in saying, and it felt like it. Yeah, because people, if you've not been on a cruise and you think 800 or 850 people is a lot of people, on a cruise, it's not. That is nothing.
And the ship holds 2,700 guests.
Yeah, so
that kind of puts it in perspective.
Yeah, very much so puts it in perspective. That's why I think one of the other questions by Christopher, the crowds. We were walking down hallway after hallway after hallway with no one in it. Yeah. No one.
We were the only people.
We were the only people in the lounge. Cove Cafe.
Pool,
we were it.
Everything.
We were it. So so that is going back to the other question. That is not normal what you saw. Going to this question, 8 to 850 from what we understand.
Very quiet cruise. Okay, so now we're going to move on to our Facebook questions. So our first one is, I think, a lengthy one. I made some notes on this one because I want to make sure I wanted to make sure we kind of touched through it. And I answered some of the Facebook questions. Of course, even the YouTube ones, I tried to give a basic answer on there, but then we wanted to give a little bit more detail here in the video. So hopefully we'll do that. Chantel says, we are a family of 5 and I use a scooter. We have only cruised with Royal Caribbean and we've always gotten a suite, so we have room to move. That makes sense. Any suggestions on a comparable room type on the Disney Wish that is not going to break the bank?
Sarah is that the first part? We're good on that part of the question?
That's the question. Yeah.
Okay. In terms of, I have done no research on financially breaking the bank, what that would entail for each of us individually. But the answer, is there a better room or something? Yes. In fact, we've talked about this, not for us, of course, but a couple cruises ago on board the Dream, right? Our stateroom was next or diagonal from one of the handicap accessible rooms. Sorry if I'm misusing the terms, but at certain times we did get to peek into the room when the door was open and they were cleaning and everything. So there are handicap accessible rooms on board the Disney ships, and they are, from what we saw, we did not go in, but we looked in there quite a bit. They are noticeably larger.
Yes,
they're noticeably larger. I believe Chantel said she has a scooter. The room we saw, you'd have no problem getting a scooter in there at all. No problem at all. The regular rooms, yes, of course. Just getting in the door, I don't know if you could. But the accessible rooms, much larger from what we saw. And I don't know, did you look, is pricing different on those? Or anything?
So they don't actually, there's no surcharge on handicap accessible rooms.
There you go.
And so you are going to get that larger space.
There you go.
You don't have to pay. Shout out to our friend Christy from Pack Your Pixie Dust for chiming in on the Facebook post with some of this information, which was super helpful.
Cool.
She also mentioned, there's not going to be the split bathroom, which you normally get on a Disney cruise.
One big bathroom?
Yeah, there's usually 2 bathrooms. This one is just one big bathroom.
Makes sense.
But of course, accessible for people.
Oh, this is nice. Okay.
And there's not going to be a curtain divide for the cabin. So if you have a couch and maybe your kids are going to sleep on that couch or the bunk bed area, there's not going to be a curtain there. So that's just one thing to think about. But it's nice that they are not charging. They do also, I think, have some space capacity, so you can't have more than 4 people in the room. So if you have 5 people, like Chantel was describing, that's going to be a little bit harder. So maybe an option is, because they're connected to a lot of the, at least the ones we've seen.
Yes,
of course, there's different locations for different kinds of rooms. But if you are amenable to ask staterooms, maybe having a connecting room or a room next door.
Like the room we were in.
Yeah, those are bigger too. The room is not bigger, but the balcony is bigger. And
bigger.
You can connect those balconies often.
Yeah, so and that's how we saw this accessible room. Our room was right there. If you were to get the accessible room and the room we were in, for example, it may not connect directly inside the room through a door. I don't think it did, but it's literally this far away in the hallway. You would just step out and step in. But again, to answer the question in terms of space in the room, what we saw, much larger. You'd have 0 issues with a wheelchair, a scooter, I don't know what else.
Yeah, or other kind of accessibility
equipment and everything. But again, before this question, we were commenting to each other on it, saying, wow,
it's really nice.
It's really nice, because we have some family members that, if they were to ever cruise with us, might need that room for accessibility issues, and we were commenting for those reasons. But yeah, absolutely, and I'm glad Sarah did some research, and I guess Pack Your Pixie Dust for Christy also chimed in, and they don't cost anymore.
Right,
that's cool.
And I think if you are thinking about, if you have questions about rooms, this is a great reason to have a Disney travel agent help you, because they often really know the ins and outs of the different kinds of categories. I do think it's kind of a bummer that Disney Cruise Line has not, and including the Wish, has not gotten onto suites outside of concierge, because that will break your bank.
The concierge will. If you can do concierge, which we will do eventually, more power to you. That is amazing. Please enjoy it for us. Please do, because we wish we were with you.
But I think that comparison between like Royal Caribbean suite and a Disney concierge suite, there's definitely not going to be, that's going to be quite pricey. So I think the handicap accessible ones would be great options. And again, kind of look at those. It's challenging because we don't really know as much about the Wish yet, because it has not sailed yet. So maybe talk to a travel agent or look at some of the maps on the Disney Cruise Line website and see what some of those locations are, to see what options might work best for you. And again, I think a travel agent is a great resource with these kinds of questions.
Hashtag not sponsored.
No, we're not sponsored.
We're not sponsored.
But they are very helpful. So our next question comes from Jessica. Jessica, this one you're going to like, Brandon, because it has to do with Remy.
I love Remy, everyone.
So Jessica says, do you think that Remy is worth the experience for a first-time cruiser? We are sailing on the Wish in August. I know there won't be a Remy. There will be a new restaurant. Enchanté is the new one.
Enchanté.
But assuming it will be a similar concept, and we are unsure if we should try it or not. Brandon?
Okay, this is a difficult one to answer. Hold on.
And I think Brandon may have some expertise, because Brandon got to go to Remy on his first cruise.
My very first cruise.
So he has good perspective.
Okay, everybody, let me sit forward.
I have 2 thoughts on this.
I have a couple thoughts, but let me just get the actual answer out of the way right away.
He's moved forward.
I've moved forward, everyone.
Very
Listen,
confident in this.
Who asked that question? I'm sorry.
Jessica,
yes, it's worth it. There it is, right there. It's worth it. I recommend it. My very first cruise I ever went on was a 3-day cruise, and there's 3 rotational dining locations. I'm gonna sit back now. There's 3 rotational dining locations on board each of the cruise ships, right? Including the new one, the Wish, right? So in saying that, you are going to miss one of those. If you do a 3-day cruise, you're going to miss one. And I missed one. I don't know which one it was.
I think we missed Enchanted Garden.
So we missed Enchanted Garden on my first cruise. It was worth it, though. Remy made that cruise better. And I am again, we have not been on board the Wish. We have not gone to Enchanté. We have not gone to Enchanté. I'm making an assumption here. I'm assuming it would be the equivalent of my first time going to Remy on my first cruise, where, yes, you might miss one of your rotational dinings and there may have been something there you wanted, or you wanted to see the location or something like that. But oh my Mickey. I don't think you'd regret it.
Yeah, so here's
as
my
someone
question.
who lived through it.
Here's my question for you, Brandon. If it's a 4-day cruise, I feel like if she does 4 days on the Wish, yeah, go to Enchanté.
Without a doubt.
Because you'll miss one of your repeat nights at your rotation.
Most likely, yeah.
Most likely. So that should be, I think, fine.
100%.
But the question is with the new ship and some of the new theming, because we have a Marvel dinner show, we have 1923, which looks really fun and kind of classic. Do you think, because we talked about this actually, for us,
we did.
We're doing a 3-day on the Wish, and I was like, I really want to go to Enchanté. I really want to go to Paolo for the new brunch. And do we skip one of them? And we decided not to. At least as of right now.
As of now, we decided not to. I'd still recommend it though.
Okay. So
I think
we're going to say yes.
I'm going to say yes.
If you really want to try it, you should do it.
Yeah. I would say this. I might be wording this incorrectly, but maybe you'll get what I'm thinking up here, everyone. If you're even asking yourself the question, should you go? Probably the answer is yes. Does that make? Do you know what I'm trying to say? That means you want to probably. Do you know what I mean? That probably means you want to go. Yes.
Okay, so
that's awesome.
Brandon says yes.
I say yes. On the other hand, though, I do want to throw it back the other way. I think if you don't go, it's a brand new ship. You're going to be experiencing brand new stuff no matter where you go on board. And it's her first cruise too, period, right?
Yeah, and I think, so that's, when we went on the cruise together as a couple for the first time, and we kind of did all the things because honestly, Brandon was very dubious about cruising.
Yeah, I didn't know. And
you didn't know if you'd like it.
Yeah, I didn't know.
So I'm like, well, we're just going to go big or go home and try all the different things. And of course, we loved it and love going on Disney cruising. And so we don't go to Remy every single time. But I think if it's something you think would be important, then go for it.
I say yes. Yeah, absolutely. And tell us how it is.
Yeah.
Please. We're going to go eventually no matter what. Yeah, we're going to go.
We can't wait to see what other people think.
We can't wait to see what other people think of it because we love reading reviews and watching people as well.
Yes. And we also had Tara ask the same kind of question. Oh. She's been to Remy, but she wanted to know, is it worth doing again? Because she had kind of a hit or miss experience. And
Whoa.
I say yes.
I
think her mom got sick with
possibly
food poisoning or alcohol, too much alcohol, and because they had to do like a pairing.
That actually hurts. Yeah. I'm sorry, Tara. Yeah. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry. Yes. Go again. I am one of those people, barring, if you've watched any of our videos, I think Sarah agrees, barring an extreme circumstance, everything gets a second chance. Once you get a second chance in life, every place should get a second chance in life. Sometimes a third chance, depending on situational stuff. Except Trails End. Not Trails End. Never again. But anyway, no, I'm sorry. I'm actually really sorry you had a bad experience at Remy. It's literally... I don't
think it was terrible. I think they just had kind of a
hit or miss where
it wasn't quite great.
That makes me feel
Which is a bummer.
It's a huge bummer because, you go want the best of everything. And so I feel bad for her. Yeah.
I would say definitely give it a try. She mentioned that she also would be a solo diner. And we saw solo diners on our most recent one at Remy.
Okay, solo diners
at Remy.
Go for it.
Yeah.
You will... I don't know how to say this either. If you feel uncomfortable being a solo diner, that's because you're making yourself feel uncomfortable, I think. Does that make sense? I want to make sure I word that. No one there is going to make you feel uncomfortable.
Yeah, actually, I will say when we saw the solo diner on our most recent Remy, he had an awesome seat.
He had a great seat.
Just a really great seat and just seemed to be having a great time. So I definitely think it's worth going. Maybe giving it another try too if you didn't have the most great experience.
Yeah, solo dining, I would. I mean, I'm sure I will not go on a cruise without Sarah ever and vice versa. But if
he's not allowed to.
If something happened where it was one of those I had to go or we're going to lose something and she was ill or something, I don't know. But if I had to and I had the opportunity to do it by myself, yes. I think Sarah would go too if situations happened. Yeah, absolutely. So. Single person dining at Remy, 100% yes. And if it was a hit or miss, I don't want to say it was bad, it sounds like, but go again. I recommend it.
Yes. I agree.
Remy's so good.
I know. Brandon's like, can we go to Remy?
Oh my gosh, I want to go to Remy right now.
Okay, so
Scotty,
moving.
beam us over to Remy.
No. Okay, maybe. So the next question comes from Stacy, and this is multi-questions, so we're going to try to tackle them one at a time.
Okay.
So Stacy asks, if I notify the cruise of our gluten allergy, do I need to do anything else?
I'm going to let Sarah tackle this.
So you do not need to. If you've contacted Disney and said, hey, I'm gluten-free, please put that on my reservation. You really don't need to do anything else if you do not want to. That's what we do when we cruise. We reach out to Disney and say, these are our special dietary needs, and make sure those are noted on a reservation. When we get to the ship, and even on our embarkation lunches, they will say, oh, we see your account, we see you have this, and this special dietary need. So we have had very good luck with that.
Yes, we have.
If you want to, there is one additional step that you can take. Disney has a special services form, and this is for not just special dietary needs, but other special needs that you might have. This could be things like the scooter from Chantel and accessibility needs. Those can be reported ahead of time so that you can contact Disney. And you can do that with your special dietary needs as well. I did that maybe the first couple of cruises, and I didn't really see any difference. We never got any responses back from them. So to me, I don't think it was anything more than just making sure that they had it marked on there. So that is something you can fill out as well if you want, but I don't think it's super necessary for a special dietary need per se. So that's the first question. The second is, any clue if the new Inside Out shop, which is going to be similar to like Vanellope's on the Dream, this will be on the Wish, if they're going to have gluten-free options. And I would say it's going to be probably very similar to Vanellope's, where it's going to be kind of limited.
So, yeah.
But
we'll find out. We will find out.
You never know. We are hopefully going to find out this time, see what options they have. You never know.
So it's an Inside Out ice cream thing?
Uh-huh.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, they just announced that.
Sadness is so cool.
Sadness and joy. And then the next question is, do they have Joffrey's coffee on the ship?
Yes.
Brandon.
Yes, they do, right? I believe, yeah.
Where do they have Joffrey's at, Brandon?
Everywhere?
I think Brandon. Except?
Cove Cafe?
Cove Cafe.
I was right, and I didn't know that. I was about to say they did have it at Cove. Whew. Yeah, I remember on this last cruise, they asked at the end, do you want any coffee or something from, I think they even said Joffrey's, or our server did. Or
if you go to Cabanas or the self-serve stations
that was it.
The top decks, you'll see the Joffrey signs and everything.
Yeah, oops, I'm not, to me, when I hear Joffrey, I think Game of Thrones. So, spelled differently, I believe that, right? That doesn't matter, everyone. But yeah, so Cove Cafe, of course, doesn't, because it's Cove Cafe.
Yeah, they have a little bit fancier
coffee. Yeah, but Joffrey's is available. I guess I was right. I did not prepare for this. I did not do any research, but everywhere in my mind, thinking back, that I've been to has Joffrey's coffee on the cruise. So
so if you need your Joffrey's fix, you
won't have an issue.
Find it on the ship
everywhere.
If for some reason you are not a fan of Joffrey's, you have Cove Cafe as an option. Cove Cafe also has a lot of different kinds of syrups, which are gluten-free, so you can have different kinds of flavor coffees and things like that. So you have options for everything when it comes to coffee. And then the last question that Stacy has is room service free, and are there gluten-free options?
I'm going to answer this. The answer is yes, it is free. However, you're not required to tip. You are not required to tip. That's not a requirement. We always do. And we've said it in other videos, so I'm going to just throw it out here now. This is not directed just at this question. It's directed at everything. Try to tip generously if feasible, and if deserved. If you have an issue, of course, then you have an issue. But we try to tip fairly generously due to the hard work they do and how amazing these cast members are on board. But room service is free. There is an upcharge on certain things, right? Yeah, so there's a couple things you do have to pay for. Usually it's alcohol or water, or like a Coke. Like a can of Coke will cost extra money. So if you don't want to pay for those, you can go up to like deck 10 or 11, depending on the ship, fill up a cup, and then bring that back to your room. Otherwise, you will have to pay a nominal fee for those. So, but other than that, the stuff from room service, the food stuff, all the food stuff, and you've probably seen in our videos, are cheese plates we get from them.
Which they can make gluten-free.
Which they can make gluten-free, which is the next part of her question.
Yeah,
right?
you once got gluten-free mac and cheese inadvertently, so they can do gluten-free mac and cheese.
They can,
I think
they
it's
can.
just Amy's pre-packaged gluten-free mac and cheese.
Yep.
We've gotten boxes of Enjoy Life cookies. They have non-dairy ice cream.
Those were good.
I almost asked for chicken tenders one time. Like, they have a lot of different options if you just ask them. So even if it's not marked on the room service menu, ask them and see, because sometimes there are definitely options.
So upcharge on the drinks, it sounds like, correct? I didn't remember that, but her saying that, I remember it now. Upcharge on those, but other than that, it's free. And except we would recommend, again, tip nicely.
Yep, I agree. And our very last question, which this one is going to be, this is the last question. So this is definitely one that I think we'll have a lot of different things to talk through. So Sarah asks, more of a serious question. Can you tell me what the medical facilities are like on the ship? What is your plan if you do have an allergic reaction or any health issue really, and need medical attention while you're at sea? I love how attentive the Disney cruises are to food allergies, and I think I'm warming up to the idea of one thanks to your videos. We're glad you're enjoying them and finding them interesting.
That's how I started wanting to cruise, is watching other people's videos. So yeah,
but Sarah says, but you are still floating away from a hospital, so how do you navigate that? So there are a lot of different things to consider in this question. Thankfully,
it's a loaded and good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. It's a really important one, especially because Brandon has EpiPens.
Hold on, everybody. All right, so I'm back. So this was Sarah, correct?
Yeah, Sarah.
So yeah, we actually do take allergies very seriously. You might see us in our videos. Even during this video, we joke and stuff like that. We do make, I'm one of those people that can joke about pretty much anything, but we do take it seriously. As a matter of, here's one. I do carry epinephrine injectors on me. There they are. And here's a demo unit, everyone. I won't go through the book.
This trainer contains no needle or drug and is for training purposes only. Place black powder.
I'm going to inject.
2, 1.
Anyway, so now.
Thank goodness we've never had to use
We have never had
the trainer.
Here's the real one.
Yeah.
Anyway, no, it's a great question because, like I said, we joke a lot. We say a lot of stuff. We are extremely cognizant and serious when it comes to allergies, different diseases and everything.
Yeah, and it's important for us to think about it because not only does Brandon have EpiPens, but also I have Crohn's disease, and I could actually get sick on the cruise, or we could just get sick in general, unrelated to
anything.
Our needs,
yeah.
It's
a great question.
Which is really challenging. So thankfully, we've never been into the medical facilities. We have seen photos. We walked pretty close by it on this most recent one because of where we had to.
And it looked pretty good, actually.
Yeah.
I don't mean good as in cool, but it looked pretty like an actual emergency room or something.
Like there's a couple things to know about this. First of all, they do have kind of limited hours for the little medical facility that they do have, although they do 24/7 care if something comes up. But my understanding is if you go outside of their normal hours, you will probably pay a higher fee for those services. Also, DCL does not accept travel or your health insurance because it's considered care outside of the United States, because you are on international waters on a cruise ship. So you can't just go down there and pay your copay. Unfortunately, you will have to pay for whatever happens, and that will get charged to your folio, and then you submit it to your health insurance and get reimbursed.
This is really interesting, everyone. I didn't know any of this, and now I'm going to ask a question.
Yeah.
I would have wrongly, had I been answering Sarah's question by myself, I would have completely wrongly, uninformedly, I would have thought it was just free.
That's a hard no.
I thought that was like kind of included in the huge cost of this cruise you were going on.
Nope, that's a hard no.
I didn't know that. No, this is actually...
Well, this is why we get travel insurance too.
I didn't know this. I actually didn't know. This is... So if I had an allergic reaction on board and had to... Or anyone, and I'd go to the emergency room on board, which we there, by the way, really quick, we know for a fact, because we've heard this before, there are doctors and nurses there.
Yes.
These are actual medical doctors and registered nurses, LPNs.
However, they can only provide kind of basic services. So, like, there was somebody who put up a blog online where she broke either her wrist or some part of her hand on the cruise, and they had to like soft set it into a cast, and then when she got off the ship, she would then have to go to her doctor and get it fully set into a cast. So there are some limitations of what they can do, and I think that's why you also hear a lot of stories about people on cruise ships either having to be life flighted out on a medevac, or having to, once they're at some kind of port, be taken to a local hospital or facility because they can't do as much on the ship.
And we have seen that. Like we said earlier, we have not seen it personally, but we have seen other people that do YouTube vlogs and everything on board a Disney cruise now. When a helicopter lands and a person, sadly, and we hope whoever this is okay, gets flighted off there to go to an actual hospital and everything. But from, again, my understanding, I think Sarah's understanding, they do take your health and safety extremely importantly. And we have no firsthand knowledge of this, but I am extremely overwhelmingly confident that if anyone on board a Disney cruise, if any of those medical professionals on board thought you needed to get off the ship, they're going to stop that, or whatever they do to get, a helicopter is going to come out and get you off that ship.
Or again, if you're at a port.
Or if you're already at a port, then I'm sure an ambulance will come out or something like that. I'm completely confident of that. Completely.
Yeah, so I would definitely...
Good question.
Yeah, it's a great question. And then the other thing I would say, I would highly recommend that you consider getting travel insurance. And I think that's really important whether you're on a cruise ship or you are traveling anywhere outside of the United States or even out of state. Perhaps you have an HMO and your insurance does not cover things in another state. Travel insurance can be really helpful to cover some kinds of things, especially health related stuff and other travel expenses. Like right now, perhaps with COVID, perhaps you get sick, you need to stay in a hotel or something. Those are going to be important things to look out for. Of course, my big tip is always check those insurance policies for travel insurance really carefully, because one of the things that was surprising to me is that a lot of different travel insurances don't cover pre-existing conditions like my Crohn's. So if I had something happen to us on a cruise and it was related to my Crohn's disease and it's considered a pre-existing condition because I was diagnosed with that before being on this cruise, that may not be covered on some kinds of policies. So look at the policies you have, whereas some other policies may be more open and cover some of that stuff. And your health insurance may also pick up some of this. So you want to kind of check both the travel insurance as well as health insurance. We have used Alliance before as a travel insurance, but there are lots of, again, not sponsored.
Hashtag
not
not
sponsored.
But hashtag if you want to sponsor us. Okay.
But there's a lot of really good travel insurance companies out there. And again, if you do use a Disney travel agent, you can talk to them and they can give you some recommendations. I would not recommend getting the one directly from Disney.
Okay.
Just as a pro tip.
Okay.
So I think that's a really important thing. Again, I mentioned it earlier with another question. Disney does have a special services team. You can fill out forms, especially if you have not just food allergies, but other medical conditions. Maybe you need access, you have certain kinds of equipment or devices that need certain maintenance or maybe even electricity. You can contact them ahead of time so you can talk through those options. And even I have to do injections every other week for my Crohn's. If I had to do an injection while I was on the cruise ship, I could bring my medication and they have Sharps containers there. So there's a lot of things on the ship. But of course, like you said, Sarah, if something happens and you're on a cruise ship, that can be challenging. So I think
good question.
Getting a lot of knowledge ahead of time, covering yourself with making sure you know what your policies cover, get travel insurance if you need to. Bring all the things that you need.
Yes, bring all your medications, bring everything.
Yeah, and thankfully, like I said, we have been very lucky. We've not had that happen before, but of course, you just never know. It's good to be prepared.
You never know. And like Sarah said, it could be related to a disease you already have, an allergy.
Or you could break your wrist.
Or you could, like that one lady, break your wrist, or you just get really sick.
Yeah, and also, I know Christy from Pack Your Pixie Dust, again, she mentioned on the DCL podcast, which she's a co-host on, that her husband got sick one time right before they were getting ready to go on a cruise ship.
Oh, really?
And I think their travel insurance helped cover some of the stuff because they weren't able to go on the cruise. Just some things to be prepared and to know about. But that's a really awesome question.
Was that the whole question?
That was a question.
Oh, okay. Is that it?
Yeah, so that...
Wait, what about our MySpace question?
Oh, we have 2 more questions. I'm so sorry. So a general question we get a lot on all of our cruise videos.
This from MySpace. Okay, go.
MySpace. We're so old, we're talking about MySpace.
Yeah.
So one question we get is, where did you get this shirt? So I have a shirt that has, and Brandon has worn one too, that has all the names of the ships. So we got that on tpublic.com. Okay. We will share the link with all of you if you are interested.
Yeah, not sponsored.
We do have an affiliate link through that. So
we do?
Yeah. So we get a little bit of tiny money.
Click the link if you go to tpublic.
But we bought these shirt a bunch, so
click that link, everybody.
Click that link. So that is they have some great t-shirts there. The Disney Cruise Line blog has a bunch of Disney cruise shirts. So if you like that, tpublic, great spot. And then the very last one.
Is this from CompuServe? Prodigy?
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Very quickly, we have had many requests. What happened with the Piano Man on one of our past cruises?
Oh,
so it's not related.
Listen, everyone.
So let's keep it quick.
How many?
Keep it quick,
there might be not a quick one for this one. Who? Did people really want to know that?
Yeah, we have a bunch of questions.
How many people?
At least like 4 people asked the question.
I'm going to say something, everyone. Whatever I and Sarah am about to say, it will. No matter if you told us a story, it's never as funny as if you were there. I want to stress that. So even if you find this funny, try to times that by 10 or something.
It might be just a weird story for us.
It might be just a weird story for us that you guys won't find funny, or weird. Maybe it's not funny. Maybe it's eerie. Like I said, I think I said it at the time, it felt like something out of David Lynch or something like that, like a Lynchian type thing. So there we were, everyone. Like what would she say from the Golden Girls? Picture it, Sicily, 1930. Sicily,
Disney Cruise Line,
1938,
2019, 2020.
January. So 2020. We on board the Disney Dream. There's a wine bar called Pink.
Yep. This is Champagne Bar.
Is it Champagne Bar? I'm sorry, Champagne Bar. Very loosely themed off Dumbo, the best Disney animated film and the best ever of the live action remakes of Disney animated films, which I'm not kidding. It's true. So it's based off Dumbo though. So it's one of our favorite places on board.
Yes.
In the adult section of the ship, which we've talked about. Usually very cozy.
Lots of great live entertainment.
Lots of great live entertainment.
Pianist always plays.
Yeah. So there was one time we went in there, and his name doesn't matter. I mean, it matters. I don't know his name. Yeah. I don't mean doesn't matter. It matters. But he's playing the piano. I can't play a piano, so ignore my little. But so he's playing the piano. He's really good.
Yep.
He's great. When
Disney
we first
songs,
came,
nice
Disney songs,
slow jams, like.
And he, as piano players do, like Billy Joel, the Piano Man, nods and everything. Like did a hello. He said hello. We sat down. We ordered our drinks. And when did it start getting weird with him?
Like maybe 10 minutes in.
Yeah, I don't.
We were drinking. All of a sudden, things turned.
Yeah, but where did it start? Because I know where I want to end up with the story, but
I remember I think I was kind of singing along a little bit, kind of like singing along, mouth along some lyrics.
And he's just staring at
But I didn't know all the lyrics to all the songs, and then he started trying to prompt me on all the lyrics, and I was like, okay, he wants me to sing along. Great.
Yeah, not bad, but again, we also wanted just to chill.
But he like kept pointing at me and like wanted me to sing the songs, and then he started. Doing the lead.
No, but that was when we walked out, wasn't it?
No, he did that for like.
Yeah, so then he started
last couple songs.
The last couple. So he started leaning.
He would lean over the side of the piano,
but way down, like he's trying to look up her dress.
Well, it's not wearing a dress.
Sure, no, but a skirt. What were you wearing?
No, I was wearing shorts.
Short. Well, maybe he's trying to look up her shorts. I don't.
Oh boy.
I don't know. It was very he was still playing.
He was looking around his sheet music. Or his
He was going way down.
It's very strange.
It was so bizarre, but staring at us. Probably at Sarah, but it was at our direction. And
but
then
that's not the weird part.
That's not the weird part. And then so he's like piano playing and looking down, and then we got up to go, right?
Right.
What is happening? We get up, we stand up, and he says, "What? Congratulations."
Yeah, he's like, "Congratulations to you," and we're like.
We literally went, what?
We have no buttons or anything that says like any celebration of any type.
Nothing. So he says congratulations. We kind of look at him like, okay. And by this point, we're not the only ones in there.
We're like, what?
There's other couples in there and everything like that.
And then he's like, congratulations again.
Yeah, like he wants us to thank him for his congratulatory something.
We don't know.
We don't know what. We didn't tell him we were celebrating anything. We were just
having drinks
at a champagne bar.
The piano.
Yeah, and then as we get up to actually leave, then as we're walking out, he starts playing the
like the wedding
like
song.
the wedding song.
And he's like, congratulations, you two. And I was like, what?
We didn't get any special drinks that would symbolize that.
Did he confuse us for someone else?
Yeah, was he expecting
we have no idea.
Another couple to come in there? It was so, again, telling it isn't as weird as being there.
It was like, so strange.
And because other people were in there when we left, and all this attention was being focused on us. And it's like, we literally just came in.
We just wanted champagne.
And listened to some great piano music and then get up and go.
Yep.
And it was first trying to get Sarah to sing along, then this bizarre lean he's doing.
Yeah, it was real weird.
It was so weird. And then the congratulatory remarks multiple times.
Still don't know.
Which we still don't understand.
To this day.
Maybe he was just congratulating us for being in pink. I don't know. And then when we got up to walk out, he played the dang the wedding. Here comes the bride, whatever it is.
Yeah, weird.
So weird.
Again, I don't think it translates into a story that well, but that's what happened. It was strange.
Yeah, it was
we still laugh about it to this day because we don't understand why.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense at all. We've thought back on it. We've talked about it thinking, did we symbolically do something?
Again, did he confuse us?
Did he? Yeah, was he expecting another couple to walk in? Like they had prompted him and said, hey, there's going to be a couple coming in.
Yeah.
Maybe. But it wasn't
Nobody
us.
knows.
We were not dressed in any kind of attire that would have said we're going to a wedding.
Nobody knows.
This is probably what we were
wearing.
Probably wearing something, we were probably wearing something like this.
Nobody knows.
And like Sarah said, we had no I'm celebrating buttons on us or anything like that. So anyway, that's our story with the piano man.
The weird piano man story.
Yeah. So,
sorry, it's not a great story.
It may not be a great story, but it was a weird experience. We've had other weird experiences, not on the Disney cruise only.
Disney cruise, no.
Would you like a whole video about weird Disney experiences? Because I could come up with a list.
Oh boy. So
anyway.
We hope that some of the questions and answer things that you brought up were helpful. We hope we shared some good information. We are not perfect. We do not know all the things, especially Disney Cruise Line. So if we erred in something and you know some more information or you have thoughts on it, feel free to chime in.
Yeah, chime in.
Because again, we try to research as much as we can ahead of time. We try to share as much information. I will probably review this and correct some things if we got something wrong.
No caption.
I do that. But hopefully this was helpful for you. Keep questions coming. We'll always keep an eye on those on our social media, YouTube. But otherwise, we hope this was helpful.
Yeah.
Stay tuned for some more
really good
content.
questions. All good questions.
Yeah, really great questions. Yeah. And stay tuned to some more cruise stuff, including some compare contrast, some wrap up stuff.
Yeah, that's going to be exciting. We're going to do a video of, not a versus, but a compare and contrast the larger ships and the smaller ships.
Yeah, it helps us still think about Disney Cruise because we miss it.
We miss it. So you miss it immediately. Anyway, that's all the topic.
All right, so with that.
Thank you to all the patrons on Patreon. Everyone's awesome. Thank you to all the subscribers. Please subscribe. Hit the little thumbs up. Hit the bell that tells you when we upload a video. That's what they say. It should. But no, leave a comment. If you have any other questions, leave a comment below. If we got something like grossly wrong or incorrect, by all means, leave a comment. And maybe someone then scrolling down will see the correction.
Correct.
But yeah, or if you think we answered the questions well enough, but you want to add something to something,
do that too.
Add to it. You might have a difference of opinion, not a difference, but an expanded opinion on something.
Yeah, and it's always good to hear different people's perspectives on
which is what we like. We like to read from other people and again watch other people as well. So no, thank you to everyone.
Yeah. So with that, we'll see you soon with some more cruise stuff.
And we can't wait to go back on a cruise.
See you soon.
Bye. Bye. I was about to hit the button. That's going to be on video. Bye.